And good. Okay, here we go. What's the date? November 22nd for me, should be 21st for everyone else. This is the PoE 2 beta announcement livestream, I think. This will be PoE 2 news, so this will be huge. I'm looking forward to this. I'm here live for once. I'm actually here live. Not watching a VOD the next day, because it's 6 AM here. Anyway. Okay, let's go. This should be good. Imagine it's only 10 minutes long. I want this to be at least half an hour long. I would love it to be an hour long, actually. I just want more PoE 2 news. And it's coming real soon. Like, it can be played December 6th. So I need to find out how to get my invite so I can play the beta. Fucking ads. Okay.
Sir, just what are we facing here?
I'm getting a cutscene?
Ready your men, Captain. We will only get one chance.
Let me know about the volume.
And remember, when
We
you
get
hear
cutscenes?
whispers, call for help. Do not attack.
When you hear the whispers, what do you think he was on about?
It's Dorman, right?
Yeah?
Then Dorman, shut your damn mouth. Ugh, why do I always get stuck with these rookies?
Up.
Hey, the kid's got a mean cleave.
Mic
Give him
check.
a chance.
Quiet.
Wait, that voice sounded familiar. Let me know how the volume is. Is it too much? No, it's not too much. Good, thank you. This looks fucking sick. I didn't know we were getting cutscenes.
A mean cleave, eh, Captain?
Have you guys read the comics?
Even lift his own sword.
This reminds me of the comics.
Captain Oren? Captain? It's here. Rain! Send the signal!
What the fuck?
Rain!
Appropriate.
On my back will be blade
Didn't even know about comics. The comics are hilarious.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Is this Shaper or something?
It's a man.
No, it's not.
Scorching Ray. That looks like Shaper.
Run.
This is such a good trailer. Oh my god. Fucking Voldemort. Yep, that was in the teaser. Show me tentacles. Show me Shaper. Oh.
Captain. Captain. Captain.
Oh. What the fuck?
Humanity isn't ready.
Is that an orb?
On your feet.
Wait, are we
Sir,
going literal?
You'll be fine. Here.
What?
what is this?
Get the body.
Stop. Mortal. It can still be contained. You don't know what you have unleashed.
Your kind no longer control this world. We cannot destroy your body, it's true. But you will watch as we destroy everything you have built. Bind him!
Is that Kalguran runes?
Feed
Sorry, this is fucking
my
enthralling.
child. I'll make sure you can eat your fill.
Oh god, is it the beast from Act 4? Oh, it's spreading corruption. Oh. Fuck, that was good. Oh. Let me know if volume's good, but fuck, that was cool. Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers. Please.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers,
Fuck yeah.
game director on Path of Exile 2. Now, Path of Exile 2 is going into early access in around 2 weeks on December the 6th. But even though it's early access, this isn't just some small taste. The game is huge. In this livestream, we're going to be introducing everything you can expect.
Oh, good.
So
Okay.
without further ado, let's roll the gameplay trailer.
Fuck yes. Good start.
Existence is a thing of beauty.
So this is for the beta,
precious.
which I will be playing and streaming and making videos.
Life and death are mortal enemies, and yet bound to one another. The continuation of life
Human centipede.
must be protected at all costs.
Oh, I did. I did spend enough money to get a beta invite.
Some have said my methods are brutal. To this, I say, there can be no salvation without sacrifice.
This Baal themed stuff, or is this just this is just a trailer? Oh, they put a bit of flair on this one. Okay, showing off the characters. That's good. I do love the character select screen being hanging. That's funny. Subclass, yep. Okay. Is that a transformation? Okay, that looked like Skyrim. That looked fun. Show me minions. Is that a time stop?
We are faced with
Fucking
the end,
JoJo's? What is this?
and I will do what I must.
The fuck is that? Is that a atlas? That was a map atlas. No, is this the world? The open world map? What the fuck is that? Breach? Oh, Breach looks nice. New Kitava. Was that a flamethrower?
Those
Purple.
who obsess with death, let them soon be acquainted with it.
Now, as you just saw, even in
Jesus,
early
okay.
access, Path of Exile 2 is a big game. It's actually been 5 years since we announced PoE 2, and over that time we've revealed a lot, but it's been in bits and pieces. It's pretty hard to keep track of it all, so today we're going to do a full rundown of all the content that will be available at the start of early access.
Hell yeah.
Classes, character progression systems, and for the first time, a full overview of the Endgame.
Okay, okay,
This is going
fuck
to be
yeah.
a big one, so get comfortable.
Okay, okay.
For 20 years,
Yes, sir.
Rayclast has been free from any sources of corruption. But the Count of Ogham, tempted by promises of power, intends to harness it once more.
And his side hoe
Dead are
piety.
rising, monsters are mutating, and madness is spreading. Under the dark influence of corruption, the Count doles out sentences of death to any who would question him.
Starting with Witch, absolutely. Necromancer.
And this is where you find yourself at the start of PoE 2. Explore the dark forests of Ogham. Traverse the barren plains.
No. No, please no.
Traverse the barren plains of the Vasteri Desert.
What's going on? Fuck. Anyway.
EcoFlow Delta Pro 3.
Level up your career with fee-free TAFE courses like construction, childcare, digital and IT, care and support, and clean energy.
Looks like everyone
Skill up,
got hit.
with fee-free TAFE, authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
But first, you'll need to pick a class.
Anyway. Classes.
Now, early access will initially have 6 classes available. Let's have a look at them. The Monk is a fast and furious melee fighter. He dashes in and out of combat, and his mechanics involve building up and keeping momentum. Like all classes in PoE 2, you'll want to use a wide variety of skills to mix and match different combos.
Anyone else suffering? Yeah. It's not just me. Okay.
To get new skills, you will first need to
Have
find
faith.
skill gems. Using a skill gem will open the gem cutting menu.
I do
which
like
shows
the
all
uncut
active
skill
skills
gem
available in
idea.
PoE 2.
So I can pick whatever I
You can
want.
choose an existing.
Oh, good, they hit pause. Oh, wow, okay, good shit. Good shit, guys. Oh, fuck, better than Blizzard, my god. Even when things go wrong, they do it better. Okay. Anyway. So I don't know what we just saw, but we missed the start. I wonder if that's because they got bombarded with, like, subs or something. Anyway. So what have we learned? Nothing. We learned what there's gonna be revealed, but I don't know yet. Okay, I think Twitch might be having a stroke because 175k people watching. That's nice. Thank you, Hero. How's chat? Chat's still mad, and there's still so many subs coming in. What the fuck? Jesus. I wonder if I get a sub through this just by being here. This would be weird. Do I want that thing? Watch for an hour and 30. I can do that. I got a 2-hour max for this. And we get a nice little pause. They're all primes? Oh, okay. Not gifted.
Sir,
Oh.
just what are we facing here?
Precious. Those who
Power and tends to harness.
Oh,
There are 21
Funny
active
this-
skills for quarterstaves.
here we go.
So this just scratches the surface of the options that you have. By endgame, you'll be dashing from pack to pack, spewing where you find yourself at the start of PoE 2.
Okay. I didn't miss
Explore
anything.
The dark forests of
Okay.
Ogum.
Good, let's go.
Traverse the barren plains of the Vasteri Desert, and delve into the jungle ruins of Utsal, an ancient Val city. There are challenging monsters, hidden runes, lost camps and treasures, roaming merchants, and of course, unique bosses. No two areas are the same. It falls to you to track down the seed of corruption,
So is that
the
Act
source
1?
of all this devastation.
Oh, God.
On the way, you'll face fearsome monsters,
Oh.
meet strange characters,
Is that a fucking
forge
Lionel?
unlikely bonds, and uncover lost civilizations. But first, you'll need to pick a class.
Okay, let's go.
Now, early access will initially have 6 classes available. Let's have a look at them. The Monk is a fast and furious melee fighter. He dashes in and out of combat, and his
Will I
mechanics
play
involve
anything
building
other
up
than
and keeping
minions?
momentum.
Who knows?
Like all classes in PoE 2, you'll want to use a wide variety of skills to mix and match different combos. To get
No,
new skills,
probably
you will
not.
first need to find skill gems. Using a skill gem will open the gem cutting menu, which shows all the active skills available in PoE
Oh,
2.
that's so nice.
You can choose an existing skill to level up, or choose to engrave a new one.
Oh.
Since this is a level 7 skill gem, even if you pick a new skill, it will immediately be level 7, so there's no harm in trying out something new. The monk
And level-
primarily
ooh.
uses the quarterstaff.
And it leveled
There
from
are 3
4 to
skills in
7,
martial
so it can
arts:
skip.
lightning,
That's good,
ice.
that's handy.
and wind. But don't think you have to stick to just one. The best combos are going to involve mixing elements of all 3. Let's try killing Palm. Like many monk skills, this can be used to quickly take advantage of a specific situation. If there's an enemy on low light,
We saw
you can
this
use
in
killing
the
Palm to dash to them and
footage
kill
like
them
a year
instantly.
ago.
This will provide a power charge. Then
It
we
looks
use a different
nice,
skill
like
to
it
consume
looks
that power
very
charge for a
pretty,
much more
and
devastating
the
attack.
animations are so good.
The monk also has powerful combo skills. Tempest Bell, for example, is a
Yeah,
skill
the
that
bell,
places a
yep.
giant resonating bell.
Seen all
Hitting the
this
bell
before.
causes it to ring, dealing damage to all enemies around it. You can also do things like freeze or shock the bell, which will add
Very
elemental
Diablo.
damage to the strikes.
That'll make some people
The
very
monk also
happy.
has a variety of abilities to empower his staff. If an enemy is close to being stunned, you can use Staggering Palm to punch them down. After that, any attack you do will shoot out wind projectiles.
And we thought our computers couldn't handle this game before. I have a feeling
21
it'll
active
run
skills
better
for
than
core
PoE 1.
staves, so this just scratches the surface of the options that you have. By endgame, you'll be dashing from pack to pack, spewing projectiles and obliterating screens of enemies with huge combo attacks.
Unique? Show
Now,
me
if
unique.
you like a style
Fuck you,
of
go
melee
back.
that's a little slower but hits much harder, then the warrior is for you. He pounds the ground with big chunky attacks and can
Ground
shrug off
pound.
the hits of small enemies with
Ooh,
large
that's
amounts
a
of armor.
nice earthquake.
Even though the mace slams are slow, you never lose control. Longer attacks can be retargeted as you go, and if you find
Nice.
yourself committed to a long attack, you can dodge roll out of it at any time.
Animation cancelling, good.
Among the skill option for maces,
Make
you
it
will find
feel
a variety
good.
of slams, fire attacks, war cries, and
Sunder.
shield skills.
Supercharged
Here, I'm
slam.
going to slam the ground, rending it apart with lines of fire. Any slam skill will then cause these fissures to erupt with lava. I can even run through them with a skill like Stampede to do huge amounts of damage.
Stampede is the new shield charge.
The warrior can also use war cries, which can empower your next skill. Seismic Cry, for example, will double any slams from your next attack.
The double slam
The
looks nice.
Stampede counts as a slam, so I can double that for even more craziness.
Stampede looks like a fun build.
If you want to go a little faster and be a little more defensive, equip a shield. In
Faster?
PoE2, you can raise your shield at any time to block all damage from the front, even spells.
What?
While holding up your
Completely?
shield, your stun meter will build as you take damage, so be careful.
Oh, we have a
If
stun
it reaches
meter.
100%, your stance will break and you will be vulnerable.
Oh. Wow,
Some
okay.
enemies also have unblockable attacks, which are indicated by this red flash. If you see one of these
Unblockable.
coming, make sure to dodge out of the way.
Oh, fuck.
Using a shield also gives you access to shield skills, like Shield Charge.
Ah, shield
which
charge,
allows
never
you
mind.
to charge towards enemies and stun them.
Shield
While
charge still in the
charging,
game.
You're also blocking the whole time, so you have full damage immunity from the front.
Yeah, that's pretty OP.
The warrior also has access to totems. Some totems have built-in abilities, like Shockwave Totem, which can be placed
Yay,
to stun nearby
Shockwave
enemies
Totem.
and trigger aftershocks like those from the earthquake. But you can also get ancestral warrior totems, which allow you
War
to use
Chief?
any slam skill in your repertoire.
War Chief, yay!
This is a meta skill, which means that it's a skill you can put other skills into. I can take a slam like Sunder and socket
War
it into
Chief
my
can do
ancestral
any
warrior
skill.
totem. Now when I summon him, he'll sit there and slam the monsters from a distance.
Oh,
There are 20 active
Holy
skills
shit.
for maces, so there's a lot more to try out. But by endgame, you're going to be dropping
Gold,
damage from the
hello.
sky, leaping fearlessly into combat.
oh
and
yeah, okay,
separating the
melee
very
looks
earth you stand
nice. Earthquake, War Chief,
on.
Stampede.
Time for some ranged attacks. The
Okay,
ranger
yes.
is
Yes,
primarily
please.
about the bow, but we wanted to make sure that she feels agile as well. In PoE 2, you can shoot while moving.
Yeah, this looks
Combined
great.
with
That's
all
gonna
the
make it
skills
feel
the
so
ranger
much
has that
better.
allow you to jump around, you'll have a lot of mobility in combat. Bow skills have a variety of lightning, poison, ice, and physical attacks. Lightning attacks bounce around between targets. You can also stick
like
lightning arrows
LA.
in the ground which explode when hit by the bouncers,
LA
or
and
electrocute
Storm Rain.
enemies to take them out of combat.
Nice.
Ice attacks allow you to slow and freeze enemies to keep them away from you.
Classic.
Using poison, not only can you slowly damage your enemies from afar,
Caustic
but also
arrow.
grow some interesting plants.
Toxic Rain.
With 21
Cool.
bow skills and all the mobility and combo tools the ranger has, you can take advantage of every situation. By endgame, you'll be creating hundreds of arrows, be they falling from the sky,
Dude, Toxic
bouncing
Rain
around
looks
between
nice.
enemies, or spraying out of tornadoes.
Holy shit, that's gonna nuke my
You might
computer.
have noticed in the bottom left of the screen that the flask slots look a little different.
Oh my god, what?
In PoE 2, you have one dedicated life flask slot and one mana flask slot. Flasks gain charges
2
as
flasks?
you kill enemies, and typically allow you to heal 6
So
or 7
much less
times if they're
thinking.
full. But that's not the only thing you can use charges for.
I'm kinda okay with that.
Charms are a new item type.
I'm
that
kind
will
of okay with
automatically
that.
defend
What the
you from
fuck?
various debuffs or damage types. Having trouble with getting frozen?
Charms?
Equip a thawing charm. When it's fully charged, it will make you immune to freeze for 3 seconds if you get frozen.
Huh?
To recharge them, just kill more monsters.
Oh, they reach it?
You
What?
can gain more slots for charms by upgrading your belt.
What? Oh, okay.
The
Trinkets?
mercenary
Charms?
wields a crossbow that can be loaded with different ammo types, offering
yeah,
versatility,
I'm okay with
power,
that.
and mobility. All classes in Path of Exile 2 can be controlled with WASD,
Fuck
which
yeah.
makes this class play exactly like a shooter. For the crossbow,
Okay,
you
so
will find
I
skills that
hope
work like
Charms
shotguns,
replaces
sniper
Pantheons.
rifles, assault rifles,
Think.
and even grenade launchers. But not only that, there are a wide variety of more interesting elemental ammos too. It's very fast to switch between ammo types, as long as you already have them loaded.
Gun
which makes the
playstyle
mercenary
looks so
able to combo
fun.
abilities together for devastating effect.
Definitely playing that at some point after
Use
Minions.
glacial bolt to create walls of ice to separate enemies, then switch to fragmentation rounds to explode the ice, dealing massive AoE damage. If I come across an armored enemy, I could use armor-piercing rounds to break their armor, and then
Armor-piercing
high-velocity
bolt.
rounds to take them down. Or perhaps I could fire a gas grenade to poison enemies before detonating the cloud with an explosive shot for massive damage.
This all looks amazing so far.
If you want to call in some suppressing fire, you can summon artillery ballistas. These have a minimum range, so you'll want to prepare your position carefully before moving in.
They look so much better, and they're just a
There
big
are 22
single hit.
active skills for crossbows.
22
By endgame, you'll be
crossbow
calling destruction
skills?
down from the sky as
I
you
get
load the
22
battlefield
guns?
with grenades and pepper your enemies with your automatic shotgun.
Automatic
If you're looking to
shotgun.
take a back seat and let your minions do the work, then the witch should be your choice.
Hello. Oh.
She can call forth hordes of undead monsters to fight for her, while casting powerful chaos spells that debilitate her enemies.
This is
Occult
probably
skills
Act
are some of
1.
the most varied in the game, with skeletons, noxious spells, specialty minions, curses, and sacrificial magic.
Oh, hell yeah.
Before we talk about minions, we'll have to talk about a new resource in Path of Exile 2
Spirit.
called Spirit.
Yeah.
This is a spirit gem, which allows you to pick from a range of
Spirit gem.
persistent skills. All classes have a variety of these skills which can add some very interesting
Oh,
effects.
auras.
Like Arctic Armor, which does cold damage to enemies that hit you, or Raging Spirits, which summon fiery skulls each time you cast a fire spell.
What?
For the Witch, though,
SRS?
we'll want to be using
Oh,
our Spirit to
no.
create permanent minions. These minions will be revived automatically when they die.
Oh
so you don't
God,
have to
was
worry
that
about
SRS?
resummoning them all the time.
Is it gone?
Here, I'm using the skill screen to allocate which
Hey,
minions I would like
the
in my horde.
skeletons look
You
good
can see
though.
the spirit cost of each one.
Skeleton
warriors
army.
are cheap but weak, useful for tanking damage and distracting enemies.
Cheap but weak.
But I want more
Love
heavy
them.
hitters in my army, so I'm going to unsummon some warriors and
Oh,
instead
that
add
looks so
skulls or
nice.
arsenals.
Holy shit.
Permanent minions come with special active abilities called command skills. You can order these guys to detonate your own minions for even more damage and area of effect. If you want a bigger army, you'll need a scepter. This new weapon type is imbued with even more spirit, allowing you to summon even more friends.
Please
If you
let
want
the
an even bigger
MTX be
army
me.
than that,
It is.
You
It
can take
is still.
advantage of corpses to summon true hordes of minions.
Got my celestial
What
skeletons
can a witch do
day
while
1.
her army is at work? Well, she has a range of chaos spells to spread disease amongst your enemies, or bone skills to impale them. Or, you know, you could curse them to
Bone
make them
skills
weaker
and
so your horde can
skeletons
take them
sounds like a
down.
good build.
There are 25 active occult skills. By the endgame, you'll be the leader of a fearsome army of the dead, consuming everything in its
So it's
path.
all considered occult skills. Okay, so they're
The sorceress
working chaos
bends the
into that
elements to her
too.
will, using them to unleash devastation on her foes. This classic spellcaster weaves a flurry of elemental magic from
Hell yeah.
afar.
This has to feel good.
The elemental skills have everything you might expect and more. Fireballs, icy explosions, lightning storms, you get the idea.
Tornado shot
Each spell is
fireball.
unique and has many different ways to build and combo with others, even between different
Spark
elements.
looks so fucking
For
nice.
example, Flame Wall conjures a burning line that not only damages enemies, but also
And
empowers all
works on
projectiles that pass
spark.
through it.
Flame wall works on spark.
If you
What?
place a wall and fire lightning
Oh,
sparks through
fuck
it,
yeah.
they'll gain extra fire damage. It's a good idea
And
to
it
take advantage of
shows.
the ability to automatically swap weapons when you use certain skills. Having a special staff with bonuses to fire skills and another with bonuses to lightning skills can really power up a combo like this.
That's going to be a lot,
The
but worth
sorceress
it.
can also take advantage of powerful trigger gems. For example,
Ooh, cast
you could grab
on
the Cast on
Ignite.
gem and use it with Firestorm.
Oh my
As you
god.
ignite enemies, a counter will go up in the top left corner. When it's full, a Firestorm
Cast
will
on
automatically
Ignite
be cast
basically
on the enemy
means
that was
cast on
ignited.
hit.
There are 25
That's
active
pretty good.
elemental skills. By endgame, you'll be
Ball
firing off
lightning.
projectiles left and right as you rain down elemental storms on your foes.
God, it looks pretty.
Now, those are the characters that will be available at the start of early access.
Fuck yeah.
But we will be adding 6 more character classes with just as many skills and options as these. There's a lot more to come. There's one more important thing to mention about skills.
Oh.
Even though we talk about them as belong to each class,
I wanna pause on
in
the minion
reality,
screen.
there are no
Fuck.
restrictions. You can use all these skills on any class so long as you have the attributes.
End of Chayula? What the fuck was that?
For example, a poison ranger might want to try out using occult curses to increase her poison damage.
Correct.
Or a monk might want to trigger elemental ice walls to use with his glacial cascade combo. The possibilities for cross-class combos are practically unlimited.
I want to see a
We're
witch with a
looking forward to
shotgun.
what kind of things you guys might find. Now,
Yeah,
Path of
it's gonna
Exile
be
is a game
good.
known for build customization, and we
Uh-huh.
haven't even scratched the surface of what is possible yet.
Oh, good.
So let's talk about support.
Okay,
gems.
let's go. Good. Alright. Oh, this is exactly what I
Path of
wanted.
Exile 2 has a system of support gems that can be combined with your active skills to dramatically change the way they work.
They're still
If you
unique.
find a support gem, then
As
right-clicking
in
it
one
will open
each.
up this screen. Here you will find a variety of recommended support gems for each of your skills that you can pick between.
Oh my god.
For
That's
example,
so good.
this is a multiple projectiles support gem and can be used to add multiple
That's
projectiles
so
to any
friendly.
skill. Normally, when you fire a grenade, it'll look like
That's
this.
so new player friendly.
But if we add multiple projectiles, then you get 3 of them. Once you have the gem, you can also freely move it between any of the
This
skills
is
in your
all new
character.
players need to know.
If you want to have a multi-shot sniper rifle instead, then simply move the gem over to your high-velocity round skill. Generally
is
speaking,
perfect.
if it sounds like a support gem should work with a skill, then it will work. So it's a good idea to experiment. Note that you can only have
That's
one
how
of each
you
support
explain
gem
the
on your
game to new
character,
players.
So you'll want to think carefully about which supports can be used best with each skill for maximum damage.
Yeah, only one
Now,
support of
if you
each.
want to stick to the recommendations, you should have a perfectly good time. But if you want to experiment a bit more, then uncheck that recommended button and you can see the
Oh.
full list of supports that will work with your skill. There are
This
hundreds
is
of
so
support
good.
gems to choose from, and even we don't know the results of all the possible ways these can interact.
Yeah, fuck
Each
balance.
skill can have up to 5 supports socketed into it, and if you're clever, you can come up with some pretty interesting ideas. Now, all of this is just
Oh,
scratching
they
the
just
surface.
added sockets with
you can
something.
make frost
I missed that.
vortexes, break people's armor, make minions explode, make skills repeat, make enemies set each other on fire, cull enemies, or pin them to the ground.
Make enemies set each other on fire?
Supports let
What?
you drastically change the behavior of your skills and create your own unique build, or at least follow someone's OP build guide.
Yep.
So, speaking of builds, let's talk about one
Okay,
of the most
that was a
iconic Path of
great
Exile systems,
clip
the
for new
passive skill
players.
tree. Yes, it's huge. There are over 1,500
This is an
nodes on
important trailer.
Now, a lot of people open the tree and can get a little intimidated at first.
Nah.
But try not to be scared. There are lots of options, but at its core, it's pretty simple.
Good.
Each level, you get 1
Reassuring.
point to put into the tree. Each class starts at a different location, but they all share the same tree. Around your section of the tree, you'll find relevant bonuses for your character. You should be safe in the knowledge that there aren't many wrong choices here. Almost all the starting nodes will be useful for your
Aren't
character
many
in some
wrong
way.
choices.
But if you do happen to make a choice you regret, you'll be able to respec any nodes you've taken by spending a little bit of gold.
And a cheaper amount of gold this time, thank you. Yes,
Now,
good.
the tree is generally divided up into clusters which have similar themes. In each cluster, you will find small nodes that give simple bonuses like increased damage, but the real power comes from notables. Notables normally have much more interesting bonuses, and they tend to care a lot more about how your build works and what skills you're using. For example, in the mercenary area of the tree, this one gives a 25% chance
consume a
of
bolt.
crossbow skills to not consume a bolt.
What does that mean?
And here's one that gives grenades a chance to blow up a
What does
second
that
time.
mean?
This one gives a chance for projectiles to rebound off terrain,
Oh.
as well as giving you some pierce chance to
Ricochet?
make that more likely.
Oh,
Note that even
hell
though
yeah.
this is in the mercenary section, this would work with projectiles from all classes. So there are often reasons to go to different areas of the tree.
Yeah. People are
In
worried
order to get
about
between
nothing.
these clusters,
They're
you
worried
will
for
generally
nothing.
have to
Sorry.
allocate nodes in the attribute highways.
Worried for nothing about this
Attribute
game being
nodes allow
slow.
you to pick which attribute you would like to use, so it's very easy to get points for any attribute that your gear might need. You can change which attribute these nodes give you
Let's
for
say the
half
tree looks
price at
nice.
the respec vendor.
But huge,
In
still.
addition to notables, you will also find even larger passives called
CI.
keystones.
CI
Keystones
unchanged.
have both an upside and a downside, and
In
often
the same
require
spot,
changing
too.
your entire build to design around them. A great example is Giant's Blood, which allows you to wield two-hand weapons in a single hand, but
What?
doubles the attribute requirements of them.
What?
You can use a two-hand mace with a shield, or even dual-wield them.
Two-handers. It's finally happening. We can get two-handers.
Mind over matter, which makes all damage go to your mana pool first before your
we
life.
went two shields? That's
Use
gotta be a
50% of
thing.
Your mana regen. Skills like these can be tough to build around, but if you're up for the challenge, they can be very rewarding. As we showed you earlier on the Sorceress,
Weapon
you can
spec?
swap between weapon sets on the fly as you use certain skills.
Is this the tree specialization?
One of the new features
Yes.
in Path of Exile 2's passive tree is that you can choose to have your passive tree change as you switch between weapon sets to take advantage of specific bonuses on the tree. For the Sorceress, you might want to change between fire and lightning specialization. Or you could switch between one hand and a two-hand setup in order to be able to block boss attacks while
What's the
following up
count?
with heavy
Isn't that
hits
the end
from
of
your
Act
bigger
1?
mace. Or perhaps you could have a full curse setup on your witch to debuff enemies before switching to a chaos degen build for maximum damage.
Wonderful.
If you want to stick with just one weapon set, you can just use these specialization points as bonus points to invest however you like, but creative players will find plenty of opportunities with this system.
What do you mean bonus
You can
points?
get weapon specialization points throughout the campaign from optional bosses and quests. For example, if I manage to defeat the Crowbell, I'll get a weapon specialization book. There are lots of other permanent boosts available from the campaign
map.
too. On the map, you can see icons that indicate the many optional encounters you can find. Some of them have
Side
permanent character
quests.
boosts, and others have powerful items. If you're having
Oh,
trouble getting
good.
past a boss, it might be a good idea to explore and see what you can find.
Fuck yeah, we
For
wanted
example,
that. That's
if
so
you
good.
defeat Blackjaw the Remnant, you'll gain a permanent increase to fire resistance.
Oh, that's so
One of
good.
the most important
Okay.
finds are spirit bonuses.
Yep.
You can find the first one
For me,
here in the
minions.
canopy in Act 1. Defeat the boss
King
in
in
this
the
area
Mists,
to
hey.
acquire a permanent addition of spirit. The permanent buffs you gain from spirit are very powerful,
Uh-huh.
and every class will find a use for them, so make sure you hunt down these upgrades. There's one in
Okay.
each act.
Side quests got better.
And we haven't even talked about the most important element of character progression, items.
Yeah.
That's why we're all here, right?
Well, that's half the
Items in
reason
Path
I'm
of
here.
Exile can be broken down into 4 rarity groups: normal, magic, rare, and unique. One of the things you're going to want to do as you play through the campaign is upgrade the items you find, and you can do that with currency items.
Ooh, okay.
An Orb of Transmutation will allow you to upgrade a normal item to a magic item with
crisp.
one mod. You can then apply an Orb of Augmentation to add a second mod, then use a Regal Orb to add a third mod, and upgrade it to a rare. Finally, you can use some Exalted Orbs to add more mods to your rare to a total of 6 mods.
And new players' brains have just turned off.
One of the things we think is really important is to make these options available to use as you play. All the items that
Casual
add mods
Exalted?
are much more common than they were in Path of Exile 1.
Really?
So that you can use them throughout your campaign playthrough.
Good.
We want you to find things on the ground that can be crafted into upgrades much more frequently.
Okay, good.
As well as making the drop rates on these items
Actual
much more
crafting.
common, you can also get them by disenchanting unwanted gear at the magic item vendor. If you disenchant magic items, you can build up to an Orb of Transmutation. And by
Shards?
disenchanting rares, you can build up to Regal Orbs.
Oh,
Another important area of crafting
Regal
items in
farm.
PoE 2 is sockets. Some items you find will have sockets that can have Ezomite runes placed in them that add
What?
more mods to the item.
What?
If I insert this glacial rune into my helmet, it will give extra cold resistance.
Oh.
This is a great way to solve problems that you have with your build, like
Oh.
resistances or
Jewels,
damage.
I guess?
If you find
Jewels, yeah.
socketed items that you don't have a use for, you can take them to the salvage bench in town to work towards an artificer's orb. This will allow you to add sockets to your existing items.
Okay, so jewels
Body
go
armors
on
and two-hand weapons can
items
have
now.
up to 2 sockets, while the rest of your armor and one-hand weapons can only have 1 socket.
Okay,
You can also salvage items with quality to create items like armor scraps or whetstones.
Cool.
These will allow you to increase the quality of your items for an up to 20% boost.
cool, okay.
If you don't want to disenchant or salvage your items, you can always sell them for gold.
Yeah.
Gold can be used to buy items from vendors, and we've tried to do a lot to make sure that the items they have for sale are actually useful.
Good.
Every
cool.
time you level up, they get more stock, so make sure to check back often. Other vendors offer a gamble. Pay a flat amount of gold and you'll get a random item
Black
of a
market.
specific type.
Hell yeah.
This could be a great way to improve your gear,
Power
if
siphon.
you're lucky.
Ooh.
Gold is also used to respec your passive skills. Take advantage of the system to experiment with your tree and rework it as required.
That's
The
expensive.
other thing you might want to use gold for is the currency exchange. This allows you to exchange
Oh,
currency
Alpha
items
does
with
that
other
now?
players on an open market, in exchange for a small gold fee. Now, all items in Path of Exile are freely tradable. We never bind
Trade
anything to your
identical?
character, except gold. Now, most gear in Path of Exile 2 is randomly generated, but there's another type that isn't. Uniques.
Ooh, okay, let's
They
go.
are especially rare, each with a handcrafted set of unusual mods which can dramatically change
Gamble
a character's
sprint.
build. They're not just better rare items, they can
Oh,
do
that's
much stranger
fun.
things that can fundamentally change your character.
That's funny.
Corpse Wade will make any corpses you run through explode into clouds of poison.
Ooh.
The Sands of Silk is a body armor that changes your dodge roll into a blink, morphing you into sand as you teleport past your foes.
Cool. Very cool.
And of course, some uniques are just pure hits of dope,
Hey, Quill Rain.
like Quill Rain, which just turns your bow attacks into full auto by doubling your attack speed.
Oh yeah.
Each unique is something that you can build your character around. We try to make sure that most unique items have a potential use at endgame, even if you find them early on. And as you can see, every single unique item comes with custom art to match.
Good. Fuck yeah.
The last character
Art of
progression
fashion.
system that you can do during the campaign is Ascension.
Don't show me SRS and
Starting
then
in
not
Act
have
2, you will
SRS
come
in the
across
game.
Ascension trials, tests that you must complete to unlock your Ascension
Oh
class.
no, Lab still
We'll explain these
exists.
trials soon, but first let's take a look at what Ascending can do for your
Oh
character.
no, Lab still
Each
exists.
class has access to 3 Ascendancy classes, but at the start of early access, only 2 per class will be available.
Oh.
Ascendancy
If
classes
you don't
are
give me
unique to each
minions, I'll be
character class,
pissed.
so choose wisely. They can drastically affect how you build your character. As a sorceress, you could become a Stormweaver, a master
It's
of the
gonna
elements.
murder us. Absolutely.
Tempest Caller causes elemental storms
gonna
to
be
summoned
pretty
each
fucking
time you do
hard.
a critical hit with a spell.
Like old Lab. Yeah, like when Lab
With
first
Strike
came out.
twice, you can stack 2 copies of Shock for more damage. And going deeper
Oh,
into
the
the
Warden
tree, you can
thing.
make all your damage types apply Shock. Make a
Oh.
Shock build from any skill.
Cool. Okay.
Alternatively, you could become a Chronomancer and command time itself.
What the fuck?
She literally has the ability to stop time with Time Freeze. Not only that,
What
she has
the
many other time
fuck?
manipulation abilities.
Huh,
Using
okay.
Temporal Rift,
Cool.
she can teleport back to a previous location, resetting her life and mana back to what it was. Or with Time Snap, she can reset all her cooldowns and cast all her spells again.
Time
On
Witch
the Warrior,
is
you can choose
unexpected.
between the Warbringer or the Titan. The Warbringer channels the might of his ancestors to gain tremendous power. Using Answered Call, you can summon ancestral spirits linked to each of your totems.
Ooh, cool.
With Jade Heritage, you can encase your body in a protective layer that absorbs all damage until it breaks. Warcaller's Bellow allows you to explode the corpses of your enemies. And with Great Wolf's Howl, you can ignore the cooldowns of your war cries. Let all that
Cool.
anger out.
Warcry build.
The Titan class is all about hitting big.
Big.
With Earthbreaker, every slam
Big
has a chance
stick.
to create an aftershock. With Crushing Impacts, every hit becomes a crushing blow, which will allow you to stun your enemies with ease. With Surprising Strength, you can take advantage of stunned enemies to deal 40% more damage.
We all know someone who's playing this
As a
first.
ranger, you might choose to be a Deadeye, an expert
Hey,
marksman
Deadeye.
who can take down foes with style. With Endless Munitions, every attack gains an extra projectile.
Cool.
With Gathering Winds, she gains a small
Tailwind.
increase to movement speed with every attack. But be careful, she loses them when getting hit. With Eagle Eyes, she will never miss, allowing you to stop wasting all those passive points on accuracy.
Oh,
Alternatively, you could become a
free
Pathfinder,
crit.
the master of flasks and
Pathfinder.
poison.
Yay.
She can choose from one of several throwable concoctions, allowing her to spend her flask charges to throw explosive bottles that
Never
deal
mind, I
various
don't like
types of
that.
damage. A bleeding concoction will make your enemies bleed, while a fulminating one can shock your enemies, allowing you to do extra damage.
Never mind. I don't like
Contagious
concoctions.
Contamination allows her to spread poisons between her foes.
Okay,
while
never mind, I do
overwhelming
like
toxicity
Pathfinder.
doubles the number of stacks they can be infected by.
Yeah, okay, we do like Pathfinder.
Running Assault allows her to move much more quickly while firing, while Relentless Pursuit makes her totally immune to being slowed by enemies.
Damn.
The Witch can ascend into the Infernalist
Okay,
or the
Pathfinder's still
Blood
good.
Mage.
Oh, that's
As an
Infernalist, not
she can summon
Necro.
a loyal Hellhound companion. The Hellhound sets enemies on fire, as well as taking a percentage of the damage if the Infernalist gets hit. With Pyromantic Pact, you can turn your mana into Infernal Flame. As you cast more spells, the flame builds up, and if it overflows, you'll take damage.
Oh, that's
Using
cool.
Bringer of Flame, you'll want to make sure you
Reverse
keep
mana.
the flames topped up. While your Infernal Flame is above 30%, all damage from you and your minions will ignite enemies.
All damage from me and
She
minions?
can also transform into a literal demon.
Shit.
While in demon
Oh.
form, she takes an increasing amount of damage, but her cast speed and damage increase rapidly as well. So if you're planning on transforming into a demon,
looks sick.
make sure you stack a lot of life recovery.
Okay, that's a
She can
build
also
on day
become
one.
a blood mage, a master of
Ooh.
life and energy. All blood
Why is
mages
that
must pay the
minions?
price of making skills cost life as well as mana.
What, magic?
But in
Cool.
exchange, every monster they kill will drop life remnants, which allow them to quickly gain back that life.
Huh.
With Crimson Power, she can gain large amounts of extra life, and with Vitality Siphon, she can use her spells to leech life back as well. Once you've got a significant amount of life, you can use Gore Spike to make your critical hits deal incredible amounts of damage. A monk who is in tune with the elements might become an Invoker. With Elemental Expression, the Invoker will create waves of elemental
I'm
power
sorry.
each time he does a critical
Are
strike.
we not getting
With
Necro?
Faith as a choice, you gain the ability to meditate.
I think that
allowing
just
you to
said we're
double
not
your
getting
energy shield.
Necromancer.
Choose between I am the Blizzard or I am the Thunder to specialize in cold or lightning. And I Shall Rage will allow you to turn into an unbound avatar.
Oh, from
Each
Wooden.
time you apply a status ailment to an enemy, you gain Unbound Fury.
Yep.
When you have enough,
The Warden thing.
transform into an avatar to deal way more damage and inflict even more elemental ailments.
Avatar the Last Airbender
Some
build.
monks choose to reach into the darkness instead. The Acolyte of Chayula can exchange their mastery of spirit for
Ooh,
darkness,
Chayula
a
build.
resource that can be utilized to both absorb and deal damage.
Ooh, okay.
The Shroud of Darkness will protect you from all damage incoming, but if you take Grasp of the Void, you will deal extra chaos damage from all the darkness you have. Their Dark Pact offers greatly increased resistances to chaos damage and can allow their mana leech to not only happen instantly, but apply to their energy shield as well. Another node you can take is
That
Waking
feels like
Dream,
Trickster.
which allows you to see into the domain of the Breach Demons.
What?
There you will see the Flames of Chayula that can be taken to gain life, mana, and damage.
Oh.
The Mercenary has a job to do, but which job
Hell
suits
yeah.
you? You might choose to become a Witch Hunter.
Van Helsing
Obsessive
build?
Rituals will give you a sorcery ward, allowing you to defend yourself against elemental hits in exchange for less defense against attacks. With Zealous Inquisition, your enemies have a 10% chance to explode on death. The chance is doubled
Oh.
against demons and undead. With
Wow.
Judge, Jury, and Executioner, your initial hit against enemies can deal up to 30% of their life and damage, if you're lucky.
What?
This is great for hunting powerful bosses.
Jesus.
And with Witchbait,
Reverse
you can
Cull.
break your enemy's concentration, preventing them from casting spells as often as they would usually do.
Nice.
You could also choose to become a Gemling Legionnaire, enhancing your abilities by embedding gems directly in your flesh.
Oh,
Integrated efficiency
Jesus.
will give you extra skill slots.
Wait, what?
Thermatological
Extra
infusion gives
slots?
you extra maximum resistances as you sock up more and more support gems.
Huh?
Adaptive capability allows you to use any color of gem without worrying about
Pathfinder for
attributes,
gems?
while Crystalline Potential adds extra quality bonuses
Wow,
to every
okay.
gem socketed into your character.
This is for
So those are the
min-maxes.
Ascendancy classes for the start of early access. But
Yeah.
one thing we haven't talked about yet
We're
is
not
how
getting
you ascend in
Necro.
the first place.
Oh, okay. What's lab?
Ascension and Path of Exile 2 requires completion of one of the Great Trials, which you'll find as you progress through the campaign. Each one is associated with one of the major cultures of Rayclast. Located in the Vasteri Plains are the Maraketh, a culture of rich tales and brutal traditions, who must do whatever it takes to survive in the desert. The highest position in Maraketh culture is a Sekima, and it is not a title given freely. All aspirants must complete the Trial of the Sekimas, a grueling gauntlet that will test their strength, will, cunning, and patience. To enter, a warrior of the Maraketh must prove their worth by trapping the soul of a djinn in a coin, and you are no different. Once you have earned your coin, it may be placed on the relic altar to begin the trial.
I'm sorry. That was Sanctum. Is lab Sanctum now?
In the Trial of the Sekimas, each room has its own challenges to overcome.
Oh my
In this
god.
room, each rare monster you kill will send its blood to the chalice in the center of the room.
I think lab
Once
is
the chalice
Sanctum.
is filled, you will be able to proceed.
Okay, that's fine. I
While
like
fighting
that.
monsters in the trial, you will need to be very careful. Each hit will not only hurt you, but will damage your honor. The monsters
Oh
are
no,
well
it is
telegraphed,
Sanctum.
so that you can avoid their attacks. But if you run out of honor, you will fail the trial and need to find another
We've got
coin in
an
order
honor
to try
bar.
again. It is a
Oh
good idea to
no,
make sure
it's
that you are well
skill-based.
prepared before challenging the trial of the second.
Oh, lab is gonna be so hard.
After each room, you will be rewarded. In this case, you have been given a key that can be used to unlock
Oh.
chests later in the trial. Once you have claimed
Yep,
your reward,
lab is
you will
Sanctum.
be shown a map of the rest of the floor and may choose how
Oh,
you wish to proceed.
God.
Which challenges would you like to face, and which rewards do you want to claim? Some rooms are more dangerous, afflicting you with debuffs that will persist for the entire
Oh,
trial.
Jesus
For
Christ.
example, entering this room will afflict you with Spiked Shell that will cause all monsters in the rest of the trial to have 50% increased life. You will want to take care if you choose such a path. There are many different challenges and rewards as you journey through the trial. Deadly traps, waves of monsters, and strange artifacts will
Timers.
test your honor. As you progress, you'll be able to gain boons from the Jinn, which will help you on your journey. For example,
Okay,
the
good.
Sekima's cloak will revive you once if you die, giving you a second shot at a
God
run.
damn it. Okay.
One of the rewards you may find is sacred water, an extremely valuable and treasured resource to the Jinn and the Maraketh. Trading it with the Jinn will allow you to receive many benefits. You can recover
Boon
honor,
shop. Yep.
gain additional
Okay, this
boons,
is
or remove
exactly
afflictions.
Sanctum.
At the end of the floor, you'll find a powerful boss which will truly test your limitations. In order to ascend, you will need to defeat him.
Without getting hit. Oh, what the fuck?
Having defeated the boss, you've earned the right to ascend. But first, the loot. The keys you have found may be used to open the various treasures in the vault at the end of
Okay,
the floor.
Lab and Sanctum got
We only
combined.
have a single bronze key.
That's
So
cool.
we'll just have to open one of these small chests. If you want to open the better ones, you'll need silver or gold keys.
Okay, keys
Let's
aren't
use
useless.
the Altar of Ascendancy. Your first ascension will allow you to pick your
Okay,
class
big.
and grant you 2 points to use in the tree.
Yep, no Necro.
Now there are more floors and
Fuck.
many more rewards that can be found within the Trial of the Sekimas.
Looks like I'm playing
but we'll
Fire
save that for
Necro.
the section on the endgame.
And
For
trying
now,
to play
let's talk about the
SRS.
second Ascendancy trial, the Trial of Chaos.
Yeah, that was the
In
first
part of
lab.
XL2, you can choose whichever trial you like to earn your ascension. Each
Huh?
culture on Rayclast had their own methods to ascend. If the Trial of the Sekimas is not your kind of playstyle, or you're finding it too difficult, you could try another.
Wait.
You can gain all your ascension points from just one, or mix and match them. It's up to you.
Really?
For early access, we will have 2 trials as options, with a 3rd trial coming later for the
Wait,
full
so I
release.
can repeat?
While exploring the Vaal jungle, you'll discover the Temple of Chaos. Before the Vaal embraced the science of corruption, their civilization
Okay, so is
worshipped
this
chaos.
not Sanctum?
This ancient trial was once used by the Vaal to test their high priests. A high priest of the Vaal must show willingness to risk everything to gain power. Entry to the
Ultimatum?
trial requires a token from a strange entity known only as the Trial Master.
Fucking lab
For
is
those in which he sees
ultimatum?
potential, he shall inscribe an ultimatum. Many have attempted these trials in search of greatness. Most have perished.
I'd rather
Will
do
you be able to
Sanctum.
defy the
That's
odds?
fucked.
Before you begin each chamber, the Trial Master will offer you a reward and a choice. Choose one of 3 tribulations to
funny.
affect you through the rest of the trial. These modifiers
Okay.
might beef up the monsters,
If you have a really
curse
good
the player,
build,
or add environmental
this is
hazards
a
like
really
turrets
fast
or
lab.
trap runes. In this case, we'll be picking shocking turrets.
Have a really good build.
As you enter the room, the Trial Master will fill it with hazards to test your commitment. In this case, you must destroy all the monsters that fill the room, while dealing with the lightning projectiles from the
Ooh,
shocking
that's
turrets.
nice.
After each room, you will need to make a choice. Take the rewards you have earned so far, or go double or nothing. Increase your rewards, but take on more risk. Each tribulation you add is minor on its own, but they quickly stack on top of each other and can become overwhelming.
Fuck ultimatum.
There are many types of chambers in the trial. Each will test your resolve in different ways. This one simply requires you survive for a certain amount of time.
Oh, just don't
Another
die,
requires
idiot.
you to escort the stone idol through the level as elevators full
Oh,
of monsters
joy.
descend to attack you. Should you be able to get through the first 3 chambers, you will face your first boss. The order of the bosses is random, and combined with the tribulations you have selected, the fight will never feel the same.
Okay.
After defeating the boss, you may claim your rewards. Of course there are items, but you also gain the right to ascend. If you already did the Trial of the Sekimas, then you can claim 2 more points to add to your Ascendancy class. Now it's possible to go much deeper. There are more bosses,
just
rewards,
repeat it.
and risks to take, but we'll talk more about that when we get to Endgame.
Right.
So
Okay.
how about we talk about that now?
Alright, looks like I'm doing Sanctum.
So far, we've
Endgame,
only been
let's go.
showing you footage from the campaign, but some people would argue that the Endgame is where the game truly begins.
65 plus.
Something that happens almost every time a new action RPG launches is people saying, there isn't enough in-game content. Well, we want to
Not
make sure
this
that
place,
in PoE 2
baby.
people don't feel that way. and we actually only changed our development priority for this recently.
Oh,
The first 3 acts of PoE 2 already take around 25 hours to complete if you're a new player.
if you're a new
This
player.
is already a
Yep.
pretty significant campaign. On the other hand, people spend hundreds of hours in Endgame each league. We realized that finishing the rest of the campaign for early access was actually a bad idea. Instead of having acts 4 to 6 in early access, we could concentrate on Endgame and make that great. For new players, a 25-hour campaign is already a huge game with lots of content.
Yep.
But for existing action RPG players, what you mostly care about is all the endgame challenges to overcome.
I want to see the
So
campaign.
several months ago, we switched the entire development team's focus over to making endgame content.
Oh, wow. Okay.
At the start of early access, there will be 50 bosses and around 400 monster types. But the great thing is that the rest of the game is like 80% there. We'll be adding content to roughly double the size of the game during early access and into release.
Damn.
Now, in order to make the endgame happen at the same character level as what it would be after we added the rest of the acts, we've added a second difficulty level called
Cruel.
where you
Fuck
repeat
yeah,
the campaign with
I'm
all
okay with
monsters and
that.
bosses leveled up. And of course, new rewards. You can
That's
kind
good.
of think of it as like a new game plus.
Hell yeah.
It's also a lot faster to get through the content the second time as your clear speed increases. That will take you to around level 65, where the endgame begins.
Good.
Once we add the remaining 3 acts, we'll be removing cruel difficulty, so you'll progress straight from the end of Act 6 to endgame.
Oh, this is so good.
But what is the endgame?
What is the end
To
game?
explain that, I'll
Maps?
hand over to Mark. He can tell you all about
Better
it.
be maps.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile 2. Well, one thing that Path of Exile is known for is having a
maps.
lot of distinct endgame content to choose between. Each endgame mechanic needs to have its own progression system, areas, bosses, rewards, and player power that can only be gained from that content. We are going to be adding a lot more over time, but for Path of Exile 2 we decided to start with 7 distinct systems you can progress through.
What?
This is the Atlas, and
Okay,
it
that is
serves
the
as
Atlas.
the core of the endgame for Path of Exile 2. It's infinite and expands in all directions.
Infinite?
Now, we are not going to spoil the plot too much here, but corruption from the beast has blighted the land, and your objective is to help fight it. In the center of the Atlas, you will find the Ziggurat, a temple in which the Val research the fundamentals of space and time. Here, we can open portals to nearby locations and begin cleansing corruption and finding resources.
It's kind of like
In
Lost
order to
Epoch.
power the portal device, we will need waystones. Each waystone has a tier, which will determine the level of the monsters that you will face.
Okay.
To go
Maps
to an
are
area,
just a
simply
tier
click
now.
one that is adjacent to an
I
area
like
that
that.
you have already completed. Insert the waystone and click Traverse. Portals will open, allowing you
Okay,
and your party
maps
to
are
travel
just
to the area you have
a ticket.
selected. All the areas in the endgame feel distinct from the locations in the campaign, and we have
hello,
dialed
Flicker.
the randomization up to 11. The monster
What?
packs you will face in each map are totally random,
Oh,
and the
God.
combination of them can lead to some very interesting combat situations.
Oh, completely
There
random.
are over
Fuck.
400 monster types in early access, and they have a lot of varied and interesting abilities. Depending on which
Shit.
combinations you face, you might find some serious challenges.
Goodbye, balance.
In order to cleanse the corruption from the area, you will need to defeat all the powerful rare and unique enemies in it.
Oh, all the
Once
rares
you
have to
done
die.
that, the area will be marked as completed and you will be able to travel past it to progress deeper into the world. If you
God,
die,
it's
then
like
the map
Delve
can no
maps.
longer be run, and you will have to find another way around to get
Oh.
to the areas behind it.
Oh.
There are also all kinds of other random encounters you might run into as you
Good
play
shrines.
maps. One such encounter are precursor artifacts. These are ancient, corrupting
Just call them
monuments that
shrines.
irradiate the monsters around them. The monsters that feed off the corruption are drawn to their power. If you defeat the monsters and cleanse the artifact, you will get a powerful temporary buff. Some of the buffs make
It's
you
even called
faster,
shrine.
others rain lightning or fire around you, and some even give you increased experience or help you find better items. You can also find strong boxes. These enigmatic
Nice.
chests guard piles of treasure, but are always a trap. Monsters
Always.
lie in wait to attack you the moment you open it, and the boxes often have mechanisms to unleash powerful spells or dangerous debuffs.
DD, bad
There are
idea.
different types of strong boxes containing different items, and you can even use your currency items to craft them
Yeah,
on the
they're even
fly,
a
so you
lot
can
slower.
optimize the content. But be careful of opening one you can't handle.
I mean, they look cool, but they're open a
Sometimes you'll
lot
discover
slower.
monsters frozen in essences.
that essence?
Solidified
Oh.
crystalline corruption. These dangerous monsters can be broken free. If you defeat them,
Why is that
the
divine?
essence they drop can be used to upgrade normal items to magic items with a guaranteed mod from a category.
Good,
For
essences still
example,
work.
We could use this one on some boots to ensure a movement speed mod.
Cool.
Rarely, essences will also drop that allow you to upgrade magics to rares, adding the guaranteed mod.
Oh. There's transmute and regal essences. Okay. That's good for crafting, I guess.
This is incredibly powerful, since it allows you to get a second deterministic mod in your crafting projects. Combining these with the currencies that are commonly found in Rayclast for modifying items, and we can get a very nice pair of boots indeed.
So we can get a 3-stat item that we want pretty reliably.
Like all items,
that's
can
nice.
also be crafted using your currency items.
Oh no.
Adding prefix mods will improve the rewards, while suffix mods increase danger. The more dangerous a map is, the more waystones will drop. Adding mods to your waystones is key to progressing to higher tiers and sustaining them, but it will require you to take on larger challenges.
Maps got changed a lot, but still basically the same.
Waystones. Some maps will have higher density, some lower, some have more magic and rare chests, or monsters, some are more linear, and others more open.
It looks really nice.
Make sure you explore and think about what makes certain maps good if you want to maximize your returns. As you cleanse corruption from higher and higher tiers of the Atlas, you will gain points that you can spend in the Atlas tree.
Ah, wonderful.
This tree allows you to juice the danger
so
and
much
rewards
smaller.
of all areas in the endgame. You could increase the number of monsters, the number of rares, the number of precursor artifacts or strongboxes, even the quantity of item drops.
Yep, pretty standard.
As you explore the endgame world map, you'll notice various different biomes, from snow-capped mountains to dense jungle valleys. Most maps are restricted to certain biomes. As you continue to explore deeper into the Atlas,
it's like Minecraft.
there are all sorts of things to discover. These cities are constructed by different peoples of Rayclast, and have specific items that can be found there.
Like Delve.
These strange structures marked on the map don't appear to do anything for now. Perhaps you'll work out how to use them later. You might find unique maps like Untainted Paradise, an undisturbed island full of beasts that give an extreme amount of experience. You may even find a lonely man just enjoying his retirement who will give you a unique item for free.
Yeah.
In addition, you can find special areas that would make a good spot to set up camp.
Oh.
Clear these areas of their hostile inhabitants, and you'll be able to claim them as your own hideout.
Okay, the Atlas looks
very pretty. You can decorate your hideout as you see fit, and invite various NPCs to join you there to create your own personal base of operations.
Okay, the Atlas actually being a map is quite nice.
A great tool for exploration are towers.
What the
These
fuck?
mysterious
Towers?
precursor constructs are dotted around the Atlas.
We get Zelda
Completing
towers?
the tower will reveal a large area
No
around
way,
you,
we get
allowing you to
Ubisoft
scout out
towers?
your next challenge.
What the
there
fuck?
Are lots of things to find, so keep looking.
Okay.
Some sections of your Atlas are influenced by corruption. This adds extra modifiers to the maps in the region, increasing difficulty and rewards. Here, slaying monsters in close proximity to each other will cause the vestiges of corruption within them to merge together, forming powerful and grotesque abominations. You may have noticed while looking at the Atlas that some of the areas have these icons above them. The icon indicates that the area contains some kind of special encounter. This icon indicates that the area has a powerful boss. Because only 1 in 4 maps contain a map boss, we are able to make them very powerful and very rewarding.
Oh,
These
1 in
bosses
4
come from
maps
the
contain a
campaign, but
boss?
have had their difficulty increased with changes to AI and some of their abilities. It's worth noting that because you can see where the bosses are, you can choose to take them on or avoid them. If you do choose to hunt bosses, then you will be rewarded with special points for the boss hunting section of the Atlas skill tree. The points here will allow you to specialize in boss killing, giving you much greater rewards for defeating them.
I'll be doing them because minions.
For each different type of content in the endgame, we are adding specialized trees in order to make it so you don't feel the need to respec your points when you change between different types of content. We will be showing you 7 of these by the end of this presentation, so there is still a lot more to come.
Oh, it's so good.
Bosses are not the only icon you will see on the Atlas. Let's take a look at one of the endgame systems, Breach. If you played PoE 1, you might be familiar with Breach.
My cosmetics.
For PoE 2, we have created sequels to several PoE
Oliver
1
brought the
leads.
toy,
While
nice,
the
good
mechanic
timing.
is familiar, the monsters, bosses, rewards, and progression are all new. A breach is a tear in the fabric of reality. Opening it will allow you to see the demons and otherworldly monstrosities that lie in wait on this other plane of existence.
I love how
By
Breach is a
engaging with
main
breach,
mechanic.
You'll create a bridge between their world and Rayclast. In order to keep the breach open, you will need to kill the demons that pour forth. The faster you can kill the monsters, the more monsters you will fight, and the more loot you will find. You can also find clasped hands that will open and drop more items if you run over them. These can be a good boost to the rewards of the breach, so keep an eye out.
Perfect. Love it.
One of the rewards
Breach
that
is
you
one of
may
my
find
favorites.
while fighting monsters from Breach are tablets.
Tablets?
Tablets are special items that can be used with precursor towers to add more encounters to the Atlas. Breaches will drop breach tablets. Clicking on a completed
Sextants?
tower will allow you to consume the tablet to add more breaches to areas within
Oh
range
wow,
of the
okay,
tower.
sextants.
This makes
Good.
all the content in
Breach
the
rings
Atlas
confirmed,
self-sustaining.
yep.
Want to do more breaches?
And it
Find the
dropped
tablets,
white, so it
add
might
them
be
to your
craftable.
towers, get more breaches, getting more tablets. Soon your Atlas will be covered in otherworldly domains.
So a tablet's
In
only from
addition,
breaches?
Like all items in PoE,
Makes
you can
breaches
craft.
mandatory.
Use your currency to add mods to your tablets, allowing you to upgrade all the breaches in range. Tablets can have up to 2 mods. These mods do things like adding extra rare monsters, extra clasped hands,
It's
or
just
even mods to
craftable
density of
sextants.
breaches,
This is pretty
allowing
great.
you to keep them open
That's a
longer.
good currency
Often
sink.
you will find multiple towers near to each other with overlapping areas of effect. This can allow you
Oh
to
my God.
really juice the mechanic by stacking the mods from multiple tablets.
Oh my god.
In your fight to hold the breach demons at bay, you may want to use the powers of their world against them. Each in-game mechanic always has player power that can only be gained from that mechanic.
What?
And Breach is no different. In Breach, you will find catalysts. Items that can
Oh.
increase the quality of rings and
Catalysts
amulets
on
by
Breach
improving
now.
specific mobs. You can also find
Okay.
Breach rings.
Wow,
a
Breach is
special base
really
type that can have
important.
its quality improved by catalysts up to 50%. In this
Oh,
case,
okay.
you could create a ring with around 170 life. Breach
Fucking-
rings can become some of the strongest rings in the game, giving you some good motivation to face the
Okay,
demon
Breach
hordes.
is like a
In
core
addition, each in-game
endgame.
mechanic needs to have a pinnacle endgame encounter.
Hell
While
yeah.
killing Breach monsters, you may find Breach splinters. Collect enough of these and you'll be able to create a Breach stone. Using a Val technology
Less League
called the
mechanics,
Realm
but
Gate,
better
you
League
can
mechanics.
use your Breach stone to access their domain and bring the fight to them.
Ah,
In
Breach
this
and
twisted
Expedition
domain,
main,
you will
here I
find
come.
Nothing but a single massive breach. Triggering it will
Ah,
reveal
breach stones
hordes
still
of breach
exist?
inhabitants.
this is nice. This is really nice. Ooh, good fucking flicker
And
strike.
should you be fast enough, you will be able to fight their leader, Zesht. We that are one.
Oh, we only get Zeshtula now? That's the Twitch drop, if anyone's getting that. We who are one. Oh, was that a combination of all? Maybe, oh, maybe just this stone has him, yeah. Actually, yeah, no, there were still different splinter types. Never mind.
This is just one of the pinnacle encounters of PoE 2. We won't be showing the rest of them, so you
So
will have
Breach
to
is a
discover
pinnacle
them for
boss.
yourself.
Ooh,
But
okay.
rest assured, this is some of the hardest content we have ever made.
Wonderful.
All these encounters have specific uniques that can only be found from them, but that's not all. We still have the progression system. Defeating Zesht will give you points to allocate into the Breach section of the Atlas tree.
Oh.
Allocating these
So you
points
have
will
to
make
specialize
breaches and
and
the Breach
do it.
domain even harder, but will give you more rewards.
Cool.
The small nodes will increase the difficulty of the Twisted Domain, while the large nodes have more specific bonuses.
Ascendancy
example,
nodes
this
for
node adds
endgame.
more clasped hands to your breaches, and adds a pack of magic monsters that can guard them. Get some more
Ooh,
points and
hell
you can
yeah.
allocate Waking Nightmare,
Double
which will
splinters.
double the number of splinters you get from clasped hands, and
Very
inflict you
cool.
with a mysterious debuff. In order to earn more points, you will need to defeat Zesht at a higher difficulty, and some rewards from Zesht can only be found by increasing the difficulty of the Twisted Domain above certain thresholds. Defeating
Okay.
Zesht at difficulty 4 will be a challenge indeed, but there are many
Ooh.
more threats in Rayclast. Ritual altars are sacrificial
let's see if
sites
they fix
built
ritual.
by the mysterious king in the mists. If you encounter this symbol on the Atlas, then you know
Is
that
ritual
the area
still
contains
bullshit?
ritual altars. Ritual altars demand tribute. Every monster you slaughter in the circle will feed the altar. After the sacrifice, touch it to begin the ritual. The monsters you just killed will be resurrected by the king of the
Feed the
mist's
altar.
dark magic, and you must fight to survive.
Looks pretty good.
The tribute you have offered to the altar
Looks
can
pretty
be spent
bullshit,
to buy
pretty good.
powerful items, but they can be expensive.
Okay,
to gain
exactly
more
the same.
tribute, you will want to find more altars.
Exactly
Each
the
successive
same.
ritual you do within an area will spawn the monsters revived by the previous ones, in addition to the ones you sacrifice next to it. By the end of an area, you'll be fighting a truly imposing number of foes, but will have a significant amount of tribute to spend. One of the rewards you can buy with tribute are omens. These are special items
Okay,
that allow
omens
for
still
meta
in?
crafting. Crafting items that affect other crafting items. Have an item with good prefixes but bad suffixes? This omen will help you to remove the mod you don't want while keeping the ones you do. There are a bunch more of these with different effects, but we will leave them for you to discover.
That's meta crafting.
Now don't forget that Ritual will also drop tablets which can be used to specialize into getting more rituals. If you want to get to the pinnacle boss of Ritual, then you will probably want to use them.
So doing the content gives you tablets for that content.
More rewarding. The pinnacle encounter of Ritual is the King in the Mists.
So it's
feared
almost
by the Asmeri
scarabs.
People, he is said to have brought eternal darkness to the Wildwood. We won't show the encounter, but just like Breach, there are a range of unique items you can get for defeating him.
Ritual looks almost identical, unfortunately, but that's okay, it's still pretty good.
Some maps have been touched by insanity.
Hello.
A mysterious entity has taken a special interest in you.
My
Step
favorite
through the looking
NPC.
glass and you will find your nightmares coming to life. When you touch a mirror, the mists of delirium
please let me
spread
fight
out across the area,
the fucking
infecting your
simulacrum
mind.
boss.
You must stay within the mist to maintain the nightmare, which is as profitable as it is terrifying.
Hell yeah.
Everything you kill will increase the rewards that drop. However, the
Okay,
deeper
Delhi
into
looks
the mist you
unchanged.
travel, the stronger the monsters are. Be careful not to overstay your welcome. Rare and unique enemies will become vessels for terrifying demons, who will manifest out of them to unleash powerful attacks on you. The mist also offers a strange crafting material. Distilled emotions. By combining these emotions, you are able to instill your amulet with a notable from the passive skill.
have we lost Blight?
This is like gaining an extra
Okay,
passive
we've
point
lost
for free
Blight.
attached to your gear. They are also particularly great because you don't have to traverse the tree to get them.
Okay,
allowing
Delhi
you to
gives
get
us
off-class
anoints now.
bonuses that would normally be much harder to get.
Cool.
Distilled emotions can also be used to instill your endgame maps, applying Delirious to them and adding additional difficulty and rewards, allowing you to further juice your endgame maps.
Okay,
the
Delhi
tablets
looks
you
good.
can find from Deliria can be used to further improve it, increase pack size, make the fog dissipate slower, or improve your progress towards the pinnacle
Okay, so
encounter
I'm
of
guessing
Delirium.
these are like
Speaking of which, every now and
scarabs.
then you will find
okay, it's just
simulacrum
specialization.
splinters. The mysterious entity will create strange
that's
encounters
pretty.
based on warped versions of your own memories. Monsters and simulacrums
Okay,
come
Sim
in waves
still
that
exists.
get progressively more difficult.
Simulacrum
you will
is just the
receive
same.
loot at the end of each wave, and you will have to make the decision to leave now or continue on, facing
Cool.
up against even tougher foes from the mist. The bosses you will face as you get deeper into a simulacrum are truly terrifying. If you can complete a simulacrum, you will gain points for the delirium section of the
you have to
Atlas skill
complete
tree.
a simulacrum.
Next up, we have
Expedition. Hello.
Expedition. Occasionally, while clearing corruption, you will encounter these Kalguran settlers.
How are they
Kalgurans
not
have
dead? Are they
discovered
the same
ancient
guys?
burial sites with lost Verisium artifacts, and they want you to help dig them up with explosives. The Kalgurans have marked the locations where the relics can be found. Place explosives as best you can to dig up as many as possible. There is just one problem. Corruption has brought the corpses of their ancestors to life, so you might have to do a little cleanup before you can reclaim the artifacts.
Oh, that's how they explain it. Okay.
You can also find remnants, the destruction of which will further anger
Okay,
the
so it looks
restless
like
dead.
only Breach
Each one you blow up
changed
will make the subsequent monsters
in a
more
fundamental
powerful,
way.
but also more rewarding. Danig, Rog, Tujin, and Gwenin will exchange the
Okay, yeah,
artifacts for
Expedition,
useful items
Expedition
and,
and
runic
Breach
magic.
and
You
Delhi
can also
main.
find
Here I come.
tablets to increase the number of expeditions
Just
and the
like PoE
rewards.
1.
This one increases the radius of explosives, while this one increases the number of remnants you will find.
Perfect.
Eventually, you might discover a logbook.
Oh,
These are
logbooks.
special
Perfect.
maps full of buried treasure and relics.
Exactly the same.
Essentially, one giant dig site. Here, you can create an extremely long chain of explosives and go through a very high number of remnants. But be careful, many remnants have mods that can really brick your build, so you will probably want to avoid these ones. If you add too many remnants, you could easily make the encounter harder than
I wonder if this is too
There
much
are
for
all
new
sorts
players.
Of interesting things buried under
It
the
might
ground
be,
in logbooks.
but
You might find dripping caves.
there's only like
and
7
hidden
league
pirate
mechanics.
niches. But the most powerful encounter is Olroth, the ancient undead commander of the Knights of the Sun. Defeating him will grant you unique rewards, as well as points to spend in the expedition section of the Atlas tree. So those are the in-game systems on the Atlas, but we are
Nice.
not done yet.
Wait,
the
what?
trials we talked about earlier have much more content when you get to Endgame 2. Just like the other
what?
in-game systems, they also have progression mechanics, unique rewards, and player power that can only be gained from them. As you get higher level coins for the Trial of the Sycamores, you will unlock more floors to explore. Each floor has its own challenging rooms and a floor boss that you will need to kill. There are 4 floors
Endgame
in total,
Sanctum.
leading to another pinnacle boss at the end of the
I
last
just saw
floor,
SRS.
which can only be accessed at Endgame. The Trial of the Secumers is where you'll find jewels, which you can socket into your tree. These are like passives that you can craft with your currency
Wait,
items.
so
they
jewels
can be really powerful
still
as they allow
exist?
you to stack modifiers that
Oh.
may not be easily accessible on the tree normally.
Small radius.
This jewel gives lightning damage and shock chance, for example. There are quite a few jewel sockets on the tree, so it's possible to gain a lot of power here.
Okay,
There are
jewels
also
still
other
exist.
types of jewels that don't provide any bonuses themselves, but affect other passives surrounding them. This jewel increases the effect of small nodes and radius by 25%.
Cool.
With careful placement in the tree, you can
Okay.
get a significant amount of power from it.
Okay.
There are also unique jewels available with very interesting effects, but you will have to find those for yourself.
That's a lot. Okay.
In order to push further into the trial and uncover the secrets of the Maraketh, you will want to take advantage of its progression system.
Okay, relics still exist.
Relics are items that can be placed in the relic altar as you start the trial. They give special bonuses that affect the trial, making it easier and increasing its rewards. Of course, you can craft these with your currency items, making them even stronger. If you can complete the entire trial overcoming all 4 floors, the final boss will reward you with one of many unique relics. These relics will be consumed when used on your next run, but can reward you with unique and powerful items. For example, this is the Last Flame. If you use it, you will have only one armor
Hello,
for
minion
the
build.
entire trial.
What are we looking at
so you
here?
will need to do a completely hitless run.
Oh, hello. That looked like a
Trial
good
of
build.
Chaos also extends into the endgame. As
I'm
you
playing
gain
that.
inscribed ultimatums of higher and higher levels,
think that was an
the number
Ice
of
Mage
chambers that you
skeleton
can go
build.
through increases. In true Val style, this allows you to take even more
Okay,
risks
so
for
Uber
even
Sanctum
more
and Uber
rewards.
Ultimatum.
At endgame, you can progress through up to 10 chambers with 3 bosses on a single run. Stacking 10 tribulations on top of each other will make this a significant challenge, but it's worth it. The Trial Master will tempt you with items of the Val Empire.
Does he
such
still
as
shit
Val
talk?
Orbs. Val Orbs are powerful crafting items that corrupt your
Oh,
gear
yeah, okay.
with random mysterious outcomes.
Val or no
Corruption
balls.
prevents an item from being modified further,
Hey, corrupt
so
works
it
the
has to
same.
be the last step of your craft. But it's also the most impactful one. For example, if you use one on your body armor, it might add a new powerful enchantment, or it might re-roll up to half of
Enchants?
its modifiers.
Reroll.
Val Orbs also have
Brick.
the ability to add a socket, allowing
socket,
you to bypass
ooh.
the normal restriction of how many sockets an item can have.
Damn,
A
okay,
body
that's the
armor
big
can
one.
get up to 3 sockets this way, allowing for a significant number of mods. Val Orbs can even modify uniques. Adding enchantments or sockets to uniques can make them incredibly
Okay, so
powerful,
implicits
but there
are
is a
now
good chance that you
enchants
will
to make
break
them
as well.
clear
The Trial Master
and
will
separate.
also occasionally offer you soul cores. Originally
Soul
formed
core?
by Chaos, the Val sought to replicate soul cores through human sacrifice rituals and blood magic to power their civilization. Soul cores are powerful.
Oh, that's why they have
soluble
automatic
items,
doors.
with mods that cannot be obtained from regular runes. Like all endgame content,
What?
there is of course a pinnacle boss. The final chamber will drop keys to this mysterious door. Some say this is where the Trial Master himself resides.
Some
Perhaps
say?
you are willing to take the risk to find out. Had enough yet? Because there is still just one more thing. The
one more.
most difficult content in Path of Exile 2.
T17s.
While mapping, you might come across this fortress that has emerged from underground, surrounded by an enormous maze riddled with danger.
Cool.
Is the maze preventing something from getting
It's
in?
a raid?
Or something getting out? This fortress is of ancient origin, and its construction has similarities to the towers and tablets that you have been using on your journey through the endgame. It is clear from the entrance that there are 3 keys required to enter. Local factions are vying for access to the fortress in order to seize the power they believe will be inside.
It's a little
Each of
raid.
the faction's leaders have managed to get their hands on one of the keys, so you will need to defeat them. Each
So is it
faction is
3
led
maps?
by an Uber Act boss. You can see one of them inhabiting the city, but in order to fight him, you will
Okay.
first need to defeat their 2 lieutenants in the adjacent zones. Be careful. If you fail against
Okay,
either of
so
the lieutenants, or
lieutenants-
to kill the leader, they
2
will move
lieutenants
on,
each,
and you will need
3
to find them
bosses,
again.
pinnacle
Kill all
boss.
the Uber bosses and you will gain access to the fortress. We aren't going to spoil it, as we can't wait to see you guys
Cool.
attempt it for the first time.
Okay.
But is there a tree you get points in after killing it? Of course there is.
Of course there is.
This is Path of Exile. There is always another tree.
So these are your challenges for PoE 2.
Hell yeah.
As you can see, this project is crazy huge. Way bigger than even we expected when we started out. But how do you gain access? Well, during early access, you'll need a key to get in. To thank our existing
Which I
PoE
should
supporters
get.
who have spent more than $480,
That's
we'll
me.
be giving you guys a key for the PC version for free.
Fuck yeah.
Anyone else who wants one can get one by purchasing one of the new early access supporter packs that have just been released to the
Which
store.
I might buy anyway.
If you just want early access to PoE 2, then you can get a key in the $30 early access pack. The pack
put it at
also
the
comes
lowest
with
tier.
$30 of points
That's
to
great.
spend in the MTX store. But we also have a variety of other
pet
supporter
looks
packs
iconic.
filled with exclusive microtransactions, points to spend in the store, and even physical items. The cosmetics can be used right now in PoE 1 and in Path of Exile 2 when early access starts.
Cool.
Most of this footage has been recorded in Path of Exile 1, since that's where you can use them immediately.
Oh,
The Lord
cool.
of Ogham supporter pack contains a cosmetic armor set befitting of the Count of Ogham himself. There is also a matching back attachment, which has an
Very
alternate
nice.
variant depicting the influence of corruption.
Ooh.
Also in this pack, you can find a portal formed of the rusted armor of
Oh
the
yeah, I need
fallen
my
soldiers
portal.
in the Red Veil of Ogham, and the offspring of a vicious Crowbell boss found in the hunting grounds.
Baby
This one doesn't look
Crowbell
so vicious though.
to match Baby Brutus.
On top of that, you'll receive the Iron Count's Zweihander to apply to your one-handed or two-handed swords.
Zweihander.
For those who are wanting to decorate your hideouts with fond memories and tales of Path of Exile's history, you will
Oh.
also get a series of hideout statues.
That Hillock?
This pack contains the statue of Hillock. For Path of Exile 1's closed beta, each pack contained a true New Zealand icon, the
Hell
Kiwi.
yeah.
Following this tradition, all
Spiked
packs in the
Kiwi.
series will also contain a new themed Kiwi pet.
What?
The pet will
Cool.
loyally follow you into battle,
Oh,
but run away
it
at the
looks
first
so
sign
cute.
of trouble. Become the ruler of the desert with the King of the Faradin supporter pack. Show your mastery of traversing the sands of the Vasteri Plains. The body armor will allow you to glide along the ground with ancient sand magic. Now each armor
Okay.
set comes with body armor, boots, gloves, and helmet, but the boots are covered in sand. If you'd
That's a
prefer
nice way
show
to
them
unlock the
off,
flying.
You can turn the gliding off if you want. The accompanying back attachment equips you with two powerful pillars.
I might have to buy
that
that
can
for the
control and
flying.
manipulate lightning. They will periodically release their energy in a powerful blast while in town, and hover in a circle around you, arcing lightning between them, forming a barrier of energy. Replace the appearance of any bow with the Faradin's Glory skin. Or replace the appearance of a spear with the Tyranny's End spear skin. This spear skin
Sad
can be
with the
applied
lack
to
of minion
staves and
info.
war staves in
We're
Path of
not getting
Exile 1.
Necromancer at all.
If you want to truly show your
I will
worth
still
as a
be
king of the
playing
Faradin,
minions
then you definitely
on
need your
the
trusty
sorceress,
moving entire city
but
fortress known
yeah,
as the
no
Dreadnought
Necro
to travel across
skill
the
tree.
Vasteri Plains.
Which is a shame.
In Path of Exile, you can decorate your hideout however you like, and it's
I
no
don't want to
exception
use a
here.
bow.
It
I
comes with a
will be
variety
using
of thematic
crossbow
elements to
after we
use,
play
or
minions.
use decorations from elsewhere in the game. Additionally, you will get the Deshret's Blessing level up effect.
Ooh, cool.
The King of the Faradin Kiwi pet,
The legs
and
dangling
last
is
but not
weird.
least, a statue depicting the Vile Oversoul from Path of Exile 1.
Why has it got a skeleton?
For those who don't know how supporter packs work, each pack comes with all
Does
of the
the Vile
cosmetics from the
Oversoul have a
previous tier,
skeleton?
so you'll get all the items from the Lord
That's
of Ogham
disgusting.
supporter pack as well. The Thaumaturge of the Vile supporter pack features an armor set and back attachment themed around the Vile. And
Why
the
don't you
pursuit
want
of
to use a
science
bow?
and progress.
They look good. They look like probably
You can
top
find
3
the
again.
Soul Core weapon effect in this pack.
Would you rather
which
do
causes
bow or melee?
thaumaturgic energy harnessed from sacrifice to spill from your weapon. This pack also contains Doryani's Idol. It replaces the default appearance of any foci to an ancient relic once used by Doryani, and this can be applied to shields in Path of Exile 1. That's not the only Vile weapon you'll find. It also contains the Wand of the Thaumaturge skin, and the Royal Sacrifice Dagger skin. You wouldn't think to put sacrificial gems on a Kiwi, but the Vile did.
What?
Thaumaturge of the Vile supporters will receive the Thaumaturge of the Vile Kiwi pet. And the
I
Statue of
thought that was
Dominus.
about to say we could put
This
gems
is
in
also
our
the
pets.
first pack in the series with a physical item. When purchasing this pack, you'll receive a Path of Exile 2 logo t-shirt.
I don't like the
But if you
pack,
don't
but I
one,
want that shirt.
You can opt out in return for additional points to spend in the store.
Cool.
Becoming a Warlord of the Karui supporter will grant you an armor set and back attachment, adorned in jade carvings and iridescent
That
feathers
is
resembling power.
nice.
Enough to even impress the ancestral gods, specifically Tukohama,
Is that
the Karui
Kaduku?
god of war.
Oh.
Overkill, you say? I think the Karui people would disagree. Why not drop a gigantic totem on rare enemies you slay to
Strong
crush them to a
disagree.
pulp? Replace your crafting bench in your hideout with the Ancestral Canoe crafting bench.
What the
where
fuck?
Ancestral Chief Mata will summon a giant canoe manned by Karui warriors to aid in your crafting desires.
Okay.
We must all start somewhere.
Wow.
You'll also get a pair of weapon skins. Equip Akoya's Felling Axe skin to your one-hand or two-handed axes, or Tukohama's Crusher
That was
to
a
your
really
one-handed or
nice
two-handed
two-handed skin.
maces. A true Karui warlord is always accompanied by their trusty Kiwi.
Jade
Equipped with
Kiwi.
armor and harnessing ancestral magic, they make the perfect sidekick. Once one of the most feared beings in Rayclast, Malachi was slain by a powerful exile. May the statue commemorate the virtue of exiles past, present, and of the future. Of course, it's not all about dressing up in game.
Hey, hoodie.
You'll want to look good in real life too. By becoming a Warlord of the Kurui supporter, you'll also get a Path of Exile 2 hoodie. Our final tier of supporter pack in this series is the Liberator of Rayclast supporter pack.
Does this give a
The
divination card?
Liberator of Rayclast armor set and back attachment come made with the finest materials in Rayclast, and shattered glass mosaics suspended in divine power. Set up your base of operations in the Beacon of Salvation hideout.
Damn.
Why restrict yourself to just one island when you can liberate more?
What?
The Beacon of Salvation hideout comes equipped with your own collection of small islands and personal operators of boats that you can use to row
Boat!
between them.
We get a boat!
Just walk to the piers,
What the fuck?
click a boat to enter, and navigate as you choose. Decorate each island as you see fit to best represent your well-earned hideout.
Is that a friend?
Everyone in your hideout can use their own boat.
What?
Why not have some races?
Boat races? What?
You can also get the Window to Twilight portal.
Oh, that's
effect,
fucking
a beautiful
adorable.
mosaic piece of art that shatters and reveals a gateway
We got
to
a
your
boat race
desired
hideout.
destination as you approach it. As you walk away, the glass magically reforms back to its original form. Rule in
Jesus.
style with the Throne of the Ruler map device. Sure, this map device can create portals to in-game maps, but it
Oh.
also comes with a throne you can sit on to oversee your growing kingdom. Look down on the
I like
plebeians
the
running your maps.
style of where the portal's open.
Being the Liberator, though, is not just about sitting on
Damn.
your throne all day. If you do decide to join the fight yourself, you can leave a High Priest in charge as your second in command. Liberator of Rayclast supporters will also get a set of varied weapon skins. The Light of Divinity Scepter skin,
It's really cool.
the Deliverance Crossbow skin, the Justice Flail skin, and the Redemption Shield skin.
So, assuming all the items are in the game,
Once again,
Ember,
you'll
we
have an
should be
accompanying
fine.
Kiwi, and of course a
Because we'll
statue
get all the
depicting one of
minion
most
uniques and
iconic
stuff,
events in
and still have a
Rayclast's
minion
history.
build. We just
The
won't
battle
have a
between
good
powerful exile and Kitava, the
ascendancy
insatiable.
for it.
With
That's
the help
fine.
of two
I'm okay with
deities, Sin
that.
and Innocence, the exile was able to defeat him once and for all. This supporter pack also contains the Path of Exile 2 art book.
Nice.
This 215-page full-color art book includes a huge amount of amazing concept art and lore produced during the long and exciting journey of Path of Exile 2's development. And finally, Path of Exile has a tradition of letting the community participate in designing game features.
Oh,
The
div
Path of
cards. It
Exile
is
2 will be
happening.
adding the Twilight Order foil reliquary.
Oh, no. Reliquary. Okay.
By becoming a Liberator of Rayclast supporter, once Path of Exile 2 is released, you will be able to select any unique item you have found and be able to drop it from the reliquary. Once players have submitted their items, keys to the reliquary will start dropping, and other players will be able to find foil versions of uniques that you have
foil
submitted
Corraine.
along
Hell
with a
yeah.
message for the lucky player. The more players submit the same unique, the more chances there will be.
Yeah, I
for the
hope
reliquary to
reliquaries
drop,
are more
so
common.
choose wisely. Now, almost all of these items are available to use in PoE 1 right now. There are a few exceptions where the item class clearly doesn't exist, such as crossbows or flails. And there are also a few microtransactions on weapon types that are unavailable in PoE 2 at the start of early access. Once classes that use those weapon types are added, those microtransactions will be available to use. If you can't decide which supporter pack to choose yet, you can always start with the early access supporter pack that just includes a key and some points to spend in the store.
Nice.
Then you can upgrade to any of the following tiers at a later date.
What the fuck?
These supporter packs
Oh,
will be
right.
available
Finish
for
it.
purchase throughout early access. We'd really like to thank you for your ongoing support. Without you guys, Path of Exile 2 could not have happened. Now, I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions.
Okay.
Stick around, because coming up next, we have a
Good.
live Q&A with Ziggy
Alright,
D.
I'm gonna kill the reaction here, but that was fan-fucking-tastic.